Now, I'm fairly sure this video is going to really split the audience. There's going to be some of you who agree with me and probably smash that like button. If you do agree, smash that like button. And then there's going to be tons and tons of you that don't agree and probably hit that dislike button. But still, air your anger towards my opinion on this matter and press dislike if you don't like it, by all means. But definitely, even if you press dislike, make sure you subscribe to the channel for more future content like this that can rile you up and make you angry and probably set you up for a really bad day. Cheers, boys. And a real quick self-plug as well. If you ever considered streaming or making content or anything like that, check my second channel out because I've just literally dropped a video last night about how you can start streaming for less than $70 or £50. Might be worth a watch. So, as of today, Blizzard are allowing same faction battlegrounds. When I read this when I woke up, I was like, oh, actually, that's good. You know, everybody's been complaining about the queue times and not being able to farm their honor and stuff like that, you know, if you're Horde specifically. And my initial thought was like, oh, well done, Blizz. I mean, they're listening. You know, they've just done the Feral Energy Tick Timer and all of that, which obviously, as a Feral Druid, amazing. And then they've done this, and my instant reaction was, that's really good. You know, they are actually listening to what people are saying, and then they're implementing these changes. Now, you know I'm not much of a PvPer, as in, I stick predominantly to PvE. I might do some battlegrounds now and again, but honestly, you know, PvP is not my thing. I don't really enjoy it, if I'm honest with you, because how can I watch Netflix while I'm PvPing? Unless it's just, you know, farming honour in battlegrounds, but Arena you have to concentrate on, and I've got a lot of TV series to watch, you know what I mean? So let's have a quick read through this, and then I'm going to give you actually why I had that sudden realisation that, hang on, Blizz, this is actually a bad idea. As soon as we saw the battleground queue times go way up a few weeks ago, we got to work on our options for addressing the situation. They've all been discussed here and elsewhere, as you know, and in addition to following your discussions closely, we looked at the game's history and data. What was most evident from all your feedback was players want to continue to play their chosen side of the faction conflict. Players don't want to wait long in queues for BGs, and players don't want a highly convoluted mechanism. How did I nearly struggle to say mechanism? I was like, so they don't want a highly convoluted mechanism to getting into BGs. So, to solve these issues as best we can, we've been internally testing a configuration where the War Games system is used to bring out Horde versus Horde or Alliance versus Alliance battlegrounds from the regular queue. And we're ready to test it live in game, so here's the plan. So starting Friday, that's today by the way, we're going to enable same faction battlegrounds. You'll queue for BGs as normal, and the matchmaker will first try to make an opposite faction match for you. Rightly so. So a few of you will be still doing, well I want to say a few of you, a lot of you are still going to be doing Alliance versus Horde, and then if, you know, the Horde can't get matched to any Alliance because there's not enough people queuing, because everybody already plays Horde, then, you know, that's what's going to happen. You're going to end up in Horde versus Horde. I don't think you're very often going to see an Alliance versus Alliance game, if I'm completely honest, but it's going to be more often than not Horde versus Horde. So straight away, who does this feel like this is catering towards? Yes, our Horde brethren. So if an opposite faction match cannot be quickly made, you'll be matched against a team from your faction. Rewards such as honour and reputation will be assigned as usual, obviously. Now I like this point. We've been thinking of these like military training exercises, and to help get that feeling across in game, we're testing putting masks and tabards on the team playing out of the enemy faction base. So it is, you know, you're getting full on and you're getting everything, but yeah, it's more like a training exercise. I like that from the RP perspective, but quite honestly, does anyone care? Are you even going to look? Like, are you going to notice that person that you're just about to, you know, like ambush to the back of the head as a rogue? Are you really going to even be bothered about what he's wearing on his face or tabard? You know, it's a nice little touch, don't get me wrong, and you know, I like it. I like the thinking. I like their thought process. But ultimately, if it's going to be too much hassle, I wouldn't bother. You know, work on something else more important. So please note that same faction play won't be available for AV, which was never hooked up for the War Games and would be particularly awkward for the team that found themselves fighting alongside a great number of enemy NPCs. So basically, obviously, this is very little to no work for them anyway, because they've got it all already. To do AV would require some work, just saying. So basically then what they're saying, yeah, they're going to monitor it over the weekend, and then it's going to go back to normal, and then obviously they'll monitor, they'll analyse the data, you know, was it worthwhile, well, you know, this is not 100% guaranteed, but we know it's going to happen, as in, I can honestly say that they're going to watch, what data is there to analyse? The queue's going to be quicker. So they're going to go, look, the queue time for the Horde on Realm X, Realm B, Realm Z, you know, it was 14 minutes, it was an hour, it was 2 hours, and now it's only 46 seconds. I mean, there's not going to be any... The only negativeness they're going to get from this is user player feedback, which they'll probably ignore anyway, because they'll look at the data and see that, well, actually, people are getting in games quicker, blah, blah, and it will be the people getting in games quicker as well who will complain, obviously. They'll get in the games quick and they'll farm their honour, but then they'll be on the forums going like, oh, I hate this, yeah, because that's what we do. When Same Faction Play goes live tomorrow, we'll open a new feedback thread on this forum after you've played some BGs. Please come to the new thread and let us know how it went. Now, this is the one time I think you should really go and give feedback. You should go on that forum thread. So I'll put a link to this Wowhead article in the description below. Find your way to that thread and let them know your thoughts. Because, I mean, here's my worry. So we've already got massive faction imbalance. We know that. The majority... I'm not going to get into the specifics of why people go Horde over Alliance or anything like that, because that's probably quite a personal decision to most. I mean, it's quite widely recognised that they get better racials for both PvP and PvE. I mean, you can argue the Draenei hit is very, very nice, obviously, for the Alliance, but overall, faction balance is only in favour of the Horde purely down to the racials. So if you have to make that decision, you're like, well, I love PvP. Alright, I could get a better racial, I could go Undead, get a better racial, or I could go Gnome and not get as good a racial, but I'm going to get better queue times. There's at least a decision there. Now there'll be no decision. You know, your mate will get you playing the game, you know, you're playing retail, you're bored of 9.1, you come over to Classic, and he goes, just go Horde, you know, you get instant queues anyway, and you get the best racials, and you'll be like, oh yeah, great idea, that's what I'll do. You know, but that's seriously what would happen. If I was coming back to Classic, and I knew I could go Horde with there's no downside to going Horde, you know, the faction's more populated, so it's easier to find a guild, there's more competitive raiding, the PvP scene is absolutely fine, because there's same faction PvP. You know, it's now removing faction identity to a certain extent. I mean, and again, this is why I said you'll probably dislike this video, because I'm just airing my opinions. You know, I'm not saying I'm right, I'm not saying I'm wrong. It's just my opinion of the whole thing is, yes, it's brilliant for those people who just want to get in and just get battlegrounds done and just get honor farmed, but it also it's adding to it's adding to the big faction imbalance problem as it is, you know, and it's only going to make it worse. So, you know, let me know what you think in the comments. This was just a short one, bit of a rant, looking at the news. I mean, it's good news for you. Maybe it's good news for you. Maybe it's bad news for you. I don't know. Me personally, I'm torn. You know, I see the good in it, so people can get their honor farm, but I see the bad in it because I think it's a slippery slope bringing all of these retail type systems into the game. We'll probably have Dungeon Finder anyway, and I don't mean LFG tool, I mean full on Dungeon Finder. People are having too many problems with /LFG trying to find groups in the chat, so we'll just get Dungeon Finder next patch. Don't rule it out. I'm not saying I want it, by the way. I hate it. I detest it. You know, the LFG tool's fine. Dungeon Finder tool, awful. Leave that out of the game. But at the same time, if it was there, I'd use it. So, anyway, bit of a contradictory statement to end the video on. If you enjoyed this, make sure you like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Go check out SJ Technology, boys. Remember, check the community post that I've put in the description below. If you subscribe to those channels, you've got a chance of getting loads of free stuff. So, peace out.